earlier, I had cut up about 12 onions, at least. And I didn't get it filmed, didn't think about it. But what I'm doing now is making onion powder from dehydrated onions. So I had dehydrated the 12 onions, and oh heck, I kept it at 115 degrees so I could keep all the nutrients in the onion. But it also took 3 days to get these dry enough to take out of the food dehydrator. So I've spent like 3 days dehydrating these beautiful, delicious dehydrated onions. And they taste great all on their own. If you wanted to munch on them, they're a healthy snack. Anyway, I have also a need at this point for onion powder. So I'm going to make some of the onion powder up, put it back in the dehydrator to make sure it's good and dry, because if it isn't completely dry, and these, as you can maybe tell, they don't have a snap to them, and they need to be super dry and not bendable. So some of them are, and some of them aren't, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and it had a snap. But see this one here? It just kind of wants to bend. So that's not actually dry enough, but I'm going to powder it in an old coffee grinder that I don't use for coffee anymore, and use that for my onion powder. And that can be used in just about anything. It's amazing how 12 onions looks when it's dehydrated. Hardly anything. And that's because there's a lot of water in onions. So now I'm going to fill up my container here. And I got a bowl here so I can catch, hopefully, any of the onions that don't make it into here. Okay, into the coffee grinder. Whoops, let me get my hand out of the way. And put the lid down. And whip this baby into a nice fine powder. Let's see, is it? Look at that. It's still pretty coarse in there. So I'll just let it go a little tiny bit longer. But see, that's onion. Hard to believe, huh? Okay. Yeah, it's better. And I'm not worried about getting it too fine right now, because I've got all of this to do. I'm going to re-dry it. Then I can put it back through the grinder to get it nice and fine. If I choose to do that, you don't have to. Depends on the purpose you want to use your onion powder for. See how it sticks to the bottom? It's not completely dry, but I didn't want to continue trying to dehydrate for another day or two. But I have solar, so when it got dark, I would have to turn the dehydrator off, and then at the next day, as early as I could during the day, I would start the dehydrator up again. Okay, here are the 12 onions that were dehydrated and powdered. And now it's time to put it back in the dehydrator so it can finish drying 100% so it doesn't clump and get hard, so that it'll be a loose powder. Okay, only one tray here that's going to go back in the dehydrator. All that powder fit on one tray, and sure doesn't make too many cups, but you know what? You could buy already dehydrated onions and powder those as well to have onion powder. But in my case, we got a super deal on onions, so we decided we would dehydrate them rather than to have them go bad. Good. These are the sweetest white and yellow onions I have ever tasted. I love that I dehydrated them with all of their nutrient value. So now we have one sheet of onion powder that I'm going to completely dry. I kept the temperature at 115 degrees so we could preserve all of the nutrients that are in the onions. And on my Excalibur, that's like for the herbs and such. Measure it. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. I'll do my best, okay? So, you know, I apologize for my hands. They get all beat up. My hands are clean, but as you can tell, they get all beat up from everything that Rob and I have been doing out in the garden area, and doesn't take much anymore. My skin here in the desert is getting old, I guess. I guess being, you know, almost 70 might have a little bit to do with that, but look at, feels, it's pretty coarse still. I'll probably think about maybe regrinding it, but chances are, you know, for me, I don't really like a super fine powder. So I'll probably just leave it exactly the way it is. But got a nice little pile of what used to be whole tomatoes. I mean tomatoes. I'm thinking tomatoes. I actually have 3 growing out of my garden. But this is onions, and I make an onion powder. But I also make tomato powder and garlic powder, pepper powder from all kinds of different variety of peppers. And I find, you know, one in our small pantry area, and for food storage, it's a whole lot easier for me to have everything in one jar instead of a whole lot of jars. And that's another reason I decided to powder my onions, because if I had 2 full mason jars, well, that'd be awesome and great if I had the room. I wouldn't be able to put something else in there. See, this is all dry now. It's not sticking or clumping or anything. So this is good to go. So now what I'm going to try to do is pour this into the measuring cup that I have right here. Okay, cross your fingers. We've seen what Susan is able to do And usually that's to make a good mess. So we don't want to make a mess today. I really would prefer to keep this as nice as I can. Okay. Actually, I don't think I have a good enough grip on it. Okay. So, let's see. Aha! We got it, everybody. And I really didn't have a big mess. Okay, let's see how much we got. Oh, I didn't get all of it. Gotta get every bit. See, left a little tiny bit in here. Let's see, do I dare try it? So far I'm having good luck. I didn't spill anything. Yep, that worked. I really love these sheets that I bought when I got my Excalibur. They were worth paying a little bit extra for, because things that are small can still fall through the cracks here. But put this on top, and it's like parchment paper, only this you can use over and over and over again. I've had them for years now, since I bought my dehydrator. Okay, ready for the grand reveal? I am. I'm really curious. Okay, let me switch hands. This lefty has to do it this way. Okay. What does it say? Aha. Do we have 1.5? Looks real close to 1.5 cups. That's 12 tomatoes, guys. Yep. Betcha. Maybe it's closer to 1.25 cup, I think. 1.25 cups. So, that's pretty awesome. I wonder if that'll fit into a pint-sized jar. Might as well see. Get it poured in. I happen to have a clean jar right there. Okay, let me get, I didn't think about this part, but I'll bring you along with me. Well, here, I'll let you see what I'm going to be wrestling with here. I wash dishes, and I stick all these things up here so they can dry. I even have my canning jar rings up there because they fit, and I had a lot of them I needed to do because I had to take the rims off everything that I was canning. And this is what I'm after right here. But I just put the cutting boards, a colander, everything up here, and that gives me extra drying space. That's not, though, where they belong. Okay, that fits on the top. And I've got this. So let's see what we got. You think it'll all fit in? Oh my goodness. I probably could. I didn't even get a full jar. Look at that. Isn't that weird? There you go. I'll get that lid on there. And I'm not even going to dry pack it, because I will be using this on a regular basis. So there you go. Pretty cool. Thank you, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and share, and comment down below. If you want more videos, ring the bell, because that way you'll get more off-grid projects that Rob and I are doing. Mwah. Bye now.